Welcome back to episode 11 of my Age of Wonders 3 Tier 1 Orc Spearman only challenge. It is turn 61, so last episode was turn 57, I think. I have since, I'm done with researching the stuff I need to get. All this stuff doesn't really matter so much. Once I got Global Assault, that was really all I needed. Dread Siege has been useful. Embrace Darkness. I just, some of my troops that have the Embrace Darkness have made it to the front lines, but a lot of them that have been in battles have not had that on them, and they melt so quickly that I don't know if it was worth taking Destruction Adept, because the Embrace Darkness was the primary reason that I got this specialization. I think something like Fire Adept for like a good damage dealer spell, because Black Lightning sucks in that regard. I think something else would have been better than Shadowborn Adept. So I'm making a note of that myself for when I write up the guide for this challenge, that I don't think Shadowborn Adept is worth it. That Embrace Darkness is just not going to give enough bang for the buck. It's nice for a little bit of boost. It hasn't been essential. Dread Siege has been amazing, though. I've not used Death March at all. This was essential early. Doesn't matter so much later. This was helpful a few times early. The So Salt was useful from the terraforming stuff. This didn't matter a whole lot. I didn't need this. So again, Destruction. I think I used Hasty Plunder once or twice, so I don't think Destruction Adept is needed either. So between Shadowborn and Destruction Adept being freed up, we could go into, Master on something else. So I have to think about for the guide, if I was going to do this over again, what would be good. Draft has been really essential. Global Assault, amazing, of course. Conqueror's Feast, twice as effective. That's good. And this has helped a little bit, but not essential. So that's in terms of spellage. I got this. So, something that's going for the Shadowborn is the Gift of Necron. I got this mid to late, and I used it maybe once so far. I don't know that it's, I don't know. Potentially. Would I get, for this alone, to choose the Shadowborn Adept specialty? I don't think it's enough, but it's a useful spell if you happen to get it. Phoenix Warrior occasionally is good for your high champion level stuff that you don't want to lose. Last Stand has been essential a few times. Lion's Courage has been essential a few times. Bloodbath has been great in some of these late battles. Relentless Army, not so much worth it because they're crappy tier 1s. Steadfast Ward has proven to be quite useful for a few clutch things, especially when dealing with Shrines of Smiting. So there's that. I haven't used Killing Spray, and I won't. Warfare levels, essential for lots of spell casting. Advanced Logistics has been super essential once you get your roads down and are sending a lot of troops to reinforce. I think I've talked about the rest of this stuff in earlier videos. I would definitely say, though, the Explorer Adept is absolutely the MVP specialization. Amazing specialization if you're only using irregulars. And Casting Scorchers on something here. Yeah. So we have some funny battles. Oh yeah, that's happening. There was a Fire Rogue event many turns ago, I'm just recalling. And the Fire Rogue appeared around here, and I was able to take out the Fire Rogue with several stacks of units. I was able to do that. I don't think I ever showed that battle, though. I don't think that it was terribly interesting. So I've got some interesting stuff to show. We'll show this first. So I was able to catch them out in the open, which is exactly what I wanted to do. So that's, in terms of them blowing their Divine Vengeance early, that's what you want to see. You got to offer them basically 3 units that they then feel comfortable blowing their Divine Vengeance. So we've got one more thing that has to blow their divine vengeance, but then otherwise they can only take out 1 unit per turn, and we're war crying them in the meantime. There's a hero of theirs. So this is not going to be terribly interesting. A whole lot of troop movement. Suffocate. So they were able to hit a bunch of units there. That, fine, whatever. I don't mind the debuff. And then, yeah. We're putting some decent hits with that war cry. Oh, there's a little lifesteal action. One of those units. So, yeah, it's pretty. See where the rest of that's headed. But especially at the gold rank, they can do some decent work with that. What else do we want to show? Ooh, yeah. So this was a prior battle that allowed for this cleanup. So you can see some of these units that survived to the next one. So for this, I was trying to think about splits I could do. They had a lot of shrines of smiting here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I was like, okay, what do I, how do I want to approach this? Because I need to get them to blow their divine vengeances and then get in there. So my goal was to try and take out like 3 shrines of smiting. And so steadfast ward. So here's an example of where they'll attack and attack and attack a certain unit, but it won't be able to die because I want to be able to preserve that unit to stay up in the shrine's face and be able to do damage. The one tricky thing with this strategy, though, is that a lot of times they'll throw a unit that's not a machine unit up in that person's face and take away all their action points. That way, the fact that you steadfast warded to try and put damage on the Shrine of Smiting the next time, you're not able to cash in on that. I did another steadfast ward up here. Right, we'll take that guy out. So I think that's one shrine down so far, I think. Putting in a lot of hits on that steadfast ward guy. So again, like I want to putting steadfast on him. Really want to take out that shrine. So that shrine is down. So I'm just basically trying to take out shrines. So they're the most annoying things to deal with. So there's a shrine down. So hoping to take out this shrine. So putting, steadfast ward on there to try and make that happen. Trying to keep these guys in the wings. See, so they take away some action points, so it's less useful. So I'm like, okay, maybe I can take that one of these heroes out because they're moving up in my face. Treasury emptied, lost a city, hero fallen, dread siege. The dread siege being on the city radius in which the fighting has occurred is useful. Some good lifesteal there. Yeah, so I was able to take out 2 heroes here, so that felt like a decent use of resources. Again, I was hoping to take him out, but it won't be enough. Don't think. Yeah. Yeah, so pretty brutal battle, but I thinned out their numbers a little bit, which allowed for the next battle to occur. So let's see. That was not very interesting. This is kind of interesting. So you'd say like, wow, 2 on 4. how's that supposed to work? But this goes to show you how much. I think they're just, yeah, they're just global assaulted. So this is crappy positioning on my part, actually. So I'm surprised at how well we did in spite of this. So just statistically 3 units. And then, amazing, right? So they can really pull their weight. These guys can really pull their weight. So yeah. So we show that. This was a siege. I don't think this is terribly interesting. Or no, it wasn't a siege. Yeah, so that's not going to be interesting. See if anything else is interesting. That is not. We took that city for a second. No. Noir. So not terribly interesting given that army. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, there's some kind of beefy battles there, but I am closing in on the capital. So I'm getting some dread sieges down. I've got a cluster of forces here. It's going to suck to have to do breaking down city through this, but I've got clusters of units eating to their territory here with those things, but just thinking about wanting to take this, go underground to their capital, sending a few guys up this way. And here's their leader. So, this is a past hero of mine, which accounts for the crazy wording. But yeah, need to take him out. So I've spotted him. I'm going to be sending some of my troops up here to take him out. And then it looks like this is that guy's capital. So take out the leader and take out the capital. So all these guys can concentrate. And this is nice. Yeah, so champion was there. So this is where I'm going to be heading in. Champion 6. So champion 6 is 108. Yeah, so one of my OG stacks that was like clearing stuff back here that I've been able to keep alive for special occasions is headed here. And so you can see we've got some troops here, swing some troops up through this to take out this dragon dwelling, and still moving slow here. So that's where we're at with that. So I don't know, I'm getting pretty close. So maybe one more episode, and that's it. So I will see you in the next episode.